My name is Jordan, and I live in the Seattle area. I first started experiencing symptoms of autoimmune disease. I was 22 years old. At the time, I was really active. I swam and ran regularly. I got originally diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis. Then the diagnosis switched to psoriatic arthritis.
My name is Sean King, and I'm Iman's father. He's 24 years old, so I've been in this a long time. We knew before he was born that he had Down syndrome, so we started doing a lot of research. There's been a lot of ups and downs as a caregiver, but overall, he's brought a lot of joy to me and the world.
I'm Brandy Moses Straub. I live in Bozeman, Montana with my husband and two daughters. So type 1 diabetes has been part of our family story for about 30 years. My brother was 10 when he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. A few years later, my sister was diagnosed with lupus. My aunt Sandra has rheumatoid arthritis. 30 years ago, my mom was hopeful it would just go away. And at that time, her pediatrician looked at her and said, "Karen, it's going to be fine. There'll be a cure in 5 years." And today, we are working through a type 1 diagnosis with my daughter, Michaela, who is 9.
I had to do a lot of learning about what an autoimmune disease was, what a rheumatic disease was, what having a chronic illness really meant. This was something that I'm going to have for the rest of my life, and there's not a cure for it. And that was super emotional for me, and depending on the day, it still is for me. I'm currently on my 7th biologic.
When Michaela was diagnosed, I asked the doctor to sit with Michaela for a second, and I went outside to the car and I cried really ugly. And then I took a few deep breaths and I went inside and I knew what was next. It's really hard to think about the life that she'll have in front of her. It never goes away. It's an every day, every hour piece of her life that she just has to take charge of. It is discouraging watching it move generation after generation. So that's the hardest piece as a mom.
Now understanding that there's a connection between autoimmune disease and Down syndrome heightens my awareness of almost everything about Iman. That now I'm looking for certain connections and things like that I wouldn't have looked at before.
I've been so grateful for the Benaroya Research Institute that they're looking at a whole lot of autoimmune diseases from many different directions.
I'm thankful for all of the science that has got us to this point and got us to the point that I have options.
I really encourage the community to support research of this nature because it can help everybody, not just people with Down syndrome. And I know that Iman believes that the world can be a better place, and he tries to make the world a better place every day when he goes out in it.
It's just really awesome to see that there are people working on this every day and that there is hopefully a better future coming for people living with autoimmune diseases.
We need to continue to find cures. Just because we can manage it and take care of it doesn't mean we should have to forever.